Sony's PlayStation Plus has become one of the best ways to experience PlayStation's incredible catalog of games, and with some notable recent additions, the list has gotten even bigger. Today on Game Rant, we're covering some of the best PS5 games available on PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. Up first, we have Horizon Forbidden West. One of the biggest PlayStation Plus PS5 games, Forbidden West is an open-world juggernaut that looks and plays great. The sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn is larger and arguably better. Forbidden West has a massive and lavish open world, fine-tuned combat, and epic enemy designs. Along with just being one of the best PlayStation Plus PS5 games, Forbidden West's debut might demonstrate how Sony plans to treat first-party exclusives moving forward. Up next, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Rift Apart was one of the first projects to truly come across as a next-generation experience, and the game is still among the console's standard setters. Rift Apart is fundamentally just another Ratchet & Clank adventure that delivers exactly what most fans have come to expect from the franchise. Along with stunning graphics, the game has fast-paced and satisfying gunplay, enjoyable platforming, lavish worlds, and charming characters. Although not lacking in new ideas, Rift Apart mainly seeks to perfect the formula rather than reinvent it. The result is a polished, confident, and delightful third-person shooter. And it wouldn't be a best games list without Grand Theft Auto 5. As the march continues towards GTA 6's debut, players can always pass time by returning to Los Santos.
Like I said, Franklin, deranged.
Yeah, and best friend.
Exactly. That's Trevor, my best friend. That's Franklin, the son I always wanted.
Despite debuting in 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5 has remained so successful and inescapable that its addition to PlayStation Plus Extra in December 2023 was still a big deal. For the most part, this is still the same GTA 5 that's been around for roughly a decade, just scrubbed and amplified to its elite form. It has never looked or played better, and it also comes with a few graphics modes. That said, the campaign is otherwise untouched, so returning players should go in knowing that they will not be experiencing much new content. Up next, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Extra and Premium subscribers have quite a few Assassin's Creed projects at their fingertips, and Valhalla is the closest to a current-gen experience. This 2020 release's reputation has arguably declined since its debut, which is not that surprising considering the game suffers from bloat. The combat system is also polarizing, while the full adoption of RPG elements might not hit the mark with longtime fans. That said, Valhalla still manages to impress, and it is a must-play for anyone remotely interested in Viking culture. Now let's swap genres and talk about the puzzle platformer hit, Humanity. Cast as a dog that must shepherd humans across dozens upon dozens of levels, players spend their time setting up directions to try and keep the crowd moving safely along. Although this might sound simple in theory, Humanity consistently introduces new mechanics, ideas, and options to maintain a steady challenge. Ultimately, this 2023 release is an acquired taste that won't hit the spot with everyone. However, any fans of puzzle games should give it a look. Humanity has an eye-catching look, deceptively deep gameplay, and surprisingly intriguing themes, especially for its genre. Then we have the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. PlayStation Plus Extra launched with the PS4 versions of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and The Lost Legacy, but the PS5's Legacy of Thieves collection was added as part of the subscription service's March 2023 lineup. Fueled by the power of the PS5, Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy now support multiple performance modes, allowing players to decide whether to prioritize 4K or 60 FPS. The visuals have also been tweaked ever so slightly to give both games an overall cleaner and more immersive presentation. These improvements enhance two titles that were already considered masterpieces. Let's give some love to indie games with Inscryption. At a glance, Inscryption might appear to be a fairly typical card battler, albeit one with a darker aesthetic than the norm for the genre. And in some ways, the game is just that, but there is so much more to this package than meets the eye. Structured as a roguelite, players find themselves going up against a rather strange figure and a host of other opponents as they seek to win a series of matches. Each victory rewards new cards and upgrades, but multiple losses will send players back to square one. Inscryption does not stop at just a compelling battle system, and the game encourages players to explore beyond the table to piece together their circumstances. Yes, this is a card game with a story, and it is well done. Next up, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Square Enix's decision to remake one of the most beloved JRPGs in history was a risky move, but the 2020 remake does a great job at justifying its existence. The PS5 Intergrade version comes with the base game and the intermission DLC, which features Yuffie as a playable character. Combined, the product should be able to keep a player entertained for a few weeks at the minimum, even if the campaign itself is relatively linear. Final Fantasy VII's story is well known by this point, and the remake starts out by retreading most of its predecessor's early chapters. However, the narrative does gradually begin to divert, setting players up for the exciting and recently released sequel, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now let's talk about Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Talk about a fantastic way to conclude the PS4 era. Ghost of Tsushima is a majestic open-world action game that expertly blends visuals, story, and gameplay to create an experience that feels complete. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut packages the base game with the Iki Island expansion, adding roughly 10 hours of content to what is already quite an expansive campaign. Except for its plot, the DLC is of mostly high quality, and the same can be said for the Legends multiplayer mode. And last but certainly not least, it's Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Miles Morales builds upon 2018's stellar Marvel Spider-Man. In fact, the two releases are so similar that the spin-off can feel a bit like an expansion. That said, the game's fundamentals are so unbelievably strong that they help nullify these criticisms. As the titular hero, players get to swing around New York City during Christmas, all while they work through a deeply personal storyline that does a brilliant job of endearing Miles Morales to people unfamiliar with its comics. Like Marvel Spider-Man is one of the strongest PS4 titles on Sony's subscription service, Miles Morales is among the best PS5 games on PlayStation Plus Extra. And that sums up our list of the best PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium PS5 games. With Sony's game catalog growing every month, there's never been a better time to sign up and game the day away. Thanks for joining us here at Game Rant, and we'll catch you next time.